What's your thought process to make a film?
Well, as I said earlier, my ideas comes from my surrounding. So when I make a film today, so what is affecting me right now as a person, what is really disturbing me,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever is also making me feel enjoyable or whatever. So I think my subjects comes like that. Maybe because I've been doing documentaries for a long time. So my subjects comes from daily happenings. Even if it is a fiction or a non-fiction, I try to project that. So I will pick up stories of the contemporary time.
Mm-hmm.
So idea comes, it may be a documentary or it can be a feature film. So suppose I made AFSP in 1958 when there was issue of AFSPA. After that, I made a film on Mr. India, Pradeep, because there was HIV problem those days. I made Lady of the Lake because that time there was this gun culture. It's like that. My thought process is like that. So I kind of get my ideas from there and I start working on the idea. Maybe if it is a fiction, I will look for stories which can connect my idea to it. So that is the process. And also, uh, while doing a documentary, I think I do a lot of research because documentary, why I enjoy doing documentary is documentaries treatment comes from the subject. Every subject has his own way of treating it. So that is very
Yes.
interesting part of documentary. So I try to find a unique way of telling that story for every subject, and for that you need to know the subject very well. So even my fiction films are an extension of my documentaries because my approach is very realistic. If you look at my films, it's very realistic. I want to work with non-actors. I want to work with real people. So my process is very realistic in a way.
Yesterday, I watched your film Joseph Son
Hmm.
and your another film Nine Hills One Village. Till today, I have not
Okay.
watched this. So, in that two films, you elaborated on current days around Manipur. So, what's the present day situation in Imphal and Manipur?
I think when I was thinking of making Josephson and Nine Hills One Valley, there was a lot of tension in Manipur. There was this Meitei Naga thing
Hmm.
that
Muiti Naga.
Meitei and
Muiti Naga.
Nagas, because this whole thing about land politics, and everybody wants to have their own land and forest. Everybody now the society has become very individual. That's why we always, even your son will be asking for a separate room. When we were born, we stayed together in one room, but nowadays everybody wants their own. I think that is the problem. In Manipur, we have a lot of communities. It's like mini India. We have 35 different tribes and Meitei.
35.
Yeah. So all this, everybody wants their own land, forest. So this was boiling in Manipur for a long time, and I thought it's like a bomb, time bomb. It can burst anytime. So I thought I will make a film on this. That's how Nine Hills One Valley happened, and then Joseph's Son happened, because it's still continuing. Maybe I will have a trilogy on the ethnic class. Maybe my next film will be, because right now that is what is really disturbing me. How what is the solution for this? So that is what is really affecting me as a
No, no.
person.
What
And
do you think about the solution?
solution means, I think it's not easy. I think people has to forgive and forget. That is the only way, and we should talk to each other, because it's like cookies and maitais are like Hindu Muslim kind of thing. It's very, there is a huge gap now.
But it's a pathetic story. Uh, I watched some news documentaries.
Hmm.
A cookie woman married a Meitei
Hmm.
male, and vice versa.
Hmm.
So family scattered.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very painful situation.
Yes, yes. It's a very painful situation. Cookies can't come to Imphal in the valley. Maitais can't go to the hills, to Rachanpur side and all. So there is a big gap. I think the government should need to do something about this. It's not easy. It's not easy. Everybody, it's not just government. I think everybody needs to collectively work towards a peaceful solution. Which last time when cookies and Naga class happened in the 1990s, I think it took around
So what is the
five.
role of the civil society?
They are trying to do it, but somehow this time it has stretched. So maybe it will take some time. People are trying, but it's not happening. It will take some time.
It's only the land issue, you think?
No, no, no. It's not just about land. It's also drugs. Uh, yeah, a lot of issues are there. Migration. Yeah, lot of things are there. So it's very complex. That's what I was saying. Manipur is like mini India. We have different states in India also. And Manipur is a small place, but so many small communities, but with their own language, with their own tradition, culture. So, but we need to live. We need to think about coexistence. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for our
The
future
around
generation.
35
Tribes,
communities, tribes, communities,
including Meitei. Meitei is a general.
general. So the biggest population,
Meiteis are the biggest
much is
population.
that. How does a documentary filmmaker sustain themselves?
Well, I have been surviving till now for the last 25 years. So
Haobam Paban Kumar एक ही होता है.
yeah, it's
So
not easy. It's not easy to do. I think we need in olden days we need Raja used to support the filmmakers. No, I think now I think the government needs to support independent cinema because commercial cinema will always survive. There is a big industry in India, but for independent work, I consider documentaries as independent work. It's independent cinema because it's not just about feature film independent cinema, but documentary by itself is independent cinema. So for independent cinema to survive, it's difficult everywhere in the world. So for that, I think the best thing is government should make a ecosystem. Earlier when we started our career, Doordarshan was a very big thing, support for us. Many people were making documentaries. In Manipur, you can't count the number of documentary filmmakers. Now today, I can see only 4 or 5 people's name. That time around 100 people were making films, documentary films, when commissioning program was happening. So you can imagine, I think we need a lot of government support for this, or they should try, they can't give money all the time, but maybe they should make an
but
ecosystem.
policy just changes. Reality, harsh reality.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do documentaries nowadays, and even our audience, like unlike Europe, where documentaries are released theatrically, so we are yet to mature to that level. It's not about maturing, but our film is yet to get exposed to the general public. I think I'm very positive that if the public also knows, and if there is a system of showing documentary in theater, then it will be easier for us, because if you show it theatrically, release it theatrically, chances of money coming back is there. Then people will try to invest, right? So, like fiction, if documentaries can be released in theaters, which is happening in European countries, America, and all, no? So, I think I'm very positive that time will come, because there also it came slowly. So, I'm very positive that it will also come to India as well.
Same question for independent feature filmmaker.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Independent, at least what is happening is I can see a shift from documentary filmmakers to fiction filmmaking because of the digital revolution, and those are independent cinema today. Okay, but only problem is if it is in a language spoken by many people, it's easier to get theatrical release. But if you do a film in, suppose, in Manipuri language or Tangkhul, then it becomes a problematic to release the film. So, our main target happens to be festivals, where if it goes to a big festival, then chances of people uh, getting the film, buying OTT, buying it becomes
Easier.
easier. Otherwise, it's always a struggle. But I think it's better than documentary. At least there is a connect with the audience. No, audience always wants to watch fiction films because they are used to it. Indian audience, especially.
In,
So,
Acha, yes.
so at least independent filmmakers can make some money out of it. Not making money, but can get their money back so that they can make their next film.
And independent documentary or feature film, space scale, recent time.
Pay scale.
Yes.
I think it's the same thing. But if you are going for international co-production, if you have studied in the film school, you know there is a process nowadays. You know, a lot of documentaries, whatever good documentaries, all that breeds. If you see all these new documentaries coming off India, all of these were pitched somewhere or the other, and they were supported by finances from outside. They got the right budget to do these films, and if you that is the I think that is one of the way for independent cinema. Even for fiction also, you have to go for all these lab and grants outside the country. So that is I think that is the only way right now for us to venture into.
It's just too much competitive.
It's very competitive, no doubt about it. But that is the only way. But at least there is a way. That's what I'm saying. So it becomes easier for people who have gone to film school, who know the craft, who knows what is happening around.
What do you think about mainstream cinema versus parallel independent cinema?
Well, I think mainstream is also changing. There is a lot of changes in the way films are. The subjects are very different nowadays. Uh, I'm also talking about Malayalam films, Telugu films, and Hindi films. So there is a whole change because there are a lot of young filmmakers are coming in the scene and trained people. There is a demand for different kind of, unlike earlier days, there is a demand for different content. So people are, I think, making bold changes in the mainstream also. It's just that many of the films are very illogical films, just to cater to the needs of the audience. Even if you have a good subject, somehow you don't do justice to the subject and you only follow the audience, what the audience will like. So sometimes it's very illogical, but definitely there has been a change. And but in independent cinema, there is a huge change in India because of the after the digital technology came. You can see different kind of narratives coming out of every region of India. Everybody is suddenly a filmmaker, and these stories are coming to us in different ways. Even the treatment is very different nowadays, and I think it's going to grow only. It's very vibrant. So let's see. I am very hopeful about the future of cinema in this country.
Top three Indian films you like most
In recent times,
overall?
no, I like all the masters films, Satyajit Ray, Ghatak, Mrinal Das film, Mrinal Sen's film. Even I like Adhur's work. And in the recent times, I have seen all these independent films are amazing. One of the most beautifully shot independent film is Rupture by Dominic Sangma last year. It's a beautiful
From Meghalaya.
from Meghalaya. And Reema's, I haven't seen other films, but I've seen her, this thing, Bulbul Can Sing. It's amazing. And yeah, I've seen a couple of, I can't remember right now, but then right now it's the peak, it's the renaissance of independent cinema in the country, I think. A lot of things are happening in the country. Very beautiful films are being made.
Top three non-Indian films.
See, I'm a film student, so my favorite is always Tarkovsky.
Yes.
My favorite filmmaker is Tarkovsky, and then yeah, so I like Wong Kar-wai. I like this guy Bresso a lot. So yeah, but Tarkovsky has always been my favorite.
And Hollywood film director.
Not many, but I like I watch all kind of films. It's not like that, but making wise, I love long takes. So I enjoy holding the shot. So
Yes.
Tarkovsky is always my favorite.
So, and Bollywood film director.
I don't have any such this thing about Bollywood. But, I think everybody is doing a good job. Uh, Not anyone in particular as such, but I like Guru Datta's film. And then earlier days I used to watch only. Those days I never used to know the directors. I
Film.
love watching Amitabh Bachchan films.
Sure. But
It was actors
yeah,
film.
actor. As a filmmaker, you already visited or invited so many festivals like Berlin, Busan, Abu Dhabi, Toronto, and many more. So, what's the difference between Indian film culture versus non-Indian film culture?
I think one thing which I found in Western festivals is discipline, discipline and professionalism. So I think in India, very few festivals are done in a very professional way. You know, it's mostly government-run festivals, and very few professional peoples are running it. You know, it's a very new thing for India. But then I think slowly it's changing.
Hmm.
But then there are mushrooming of film festivals in India as well. But uh, very few festivals are bold to show independent cinema. So I think we need more bold film festivals and professionals like curators, proper programmers running the show. Unlike government officials being, becoming the director and the curator
Hmm.
of the festivals, you need
Oh,
to have proper curator and a programmer for a festival. And I think that professionalism is lacking in our festivals.
your memorable day, most memorable day.
My most memorable times are in SRFK.
Achha.
But I enjoy making Lady of the Lake a lot
Hmm.
because it was like an experiment for me to make a feature film the way I make my documentaries. Very small crew. I think we were just five of us making the feature film, and we were always on water. The land was, 1 hour drive from the middle of the lake. So in the film, you can see only water.
Hmm.
So we were there, and with very minimal equipments.
Hmm.
We have to charge our battery. So every day we have to send our battery to there, and then they bring it.
I watched that film.
Yeah, yeah.
I shocked how it is possible to make this type of film.
So it was a very good experience for us, and
It's
we
memorable film.
yeah, yeah, it's memorable. My first film.
And your happiest moment in life till today.
I don't know. I'm not that happy quite. I think maybe when I got my first national award, maybe that was also one
Hmm.
thing in my career where I was, APSPA got the best
Best
Golden
film.
Lotus at
Hmm.
Sonata. It was the first time in Manipuri history that we got a Golden Lotus. And that was a very proud moment for not just me, for my family also. At, at, at last, my parents they started believing me in what I'm doing. So maybe,
Exactly.
probably. So yeah, that was a good moment.
Okay. And your saddest moment in life.
These are strange questions.
ऐसा कोई दिन था मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है होपलेस कोई
It's
सिचुएशन आया
always
था.
there. It's always there when you're not able to do what you want to do. It's there, but then somehow I have been able to come out of it. Uh, yeah, I mean, there are, since you are a human being, there are sad parts and enjoyable parts in your life, but then uh, not anything in particular as such. ऐसा कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ वैसा नहीं है, लेकिन सैड पार्ट होता है लाइफ का, वो बहुत कुछ फैमिली का, इधर का, ये सब होता है, लेकिन
it's a memorable ज्यादा
ऐसा
नहीं
है
है,
कुछ
memorable
memory.
करना भी
See,
नहीं
when you
चाहिए.
lose your close ones, वो तो है. My dad is no more. That was a shocking thing for me because I'm the only child of them, and my dad, me, and mom. We only three. We through three. Since childhood, we three were always there. So when my dad left, that was like a vacuum. Suddenly I realized what the true reality of life. Maybe that was my saddest moment in my life.
And your advice for new generation filmmakers, upcoming filmmakers,
I think
and your some advice, concrete advice.
for filmmaking, you need a lot of discipline. Discipline is something which is lacking nowadays. Without discipline, you can never make films. So you need to have discipline because cinema is such a medium. You need a lot of money. You need time. You need patience, and for that, you need to have discipline. Otherwise, so many people are working together for a dream, and if you're not disciplined, then it affects the whole team, whole crew. So I think discipline is the most important thing. And nowadays, because with the coming of digital technology, I think we people doesn't think much. There is a camera, we can edit anytime, no cost, nothing much, but it affects the project. If you have to have a clear vision to do things.
Or your next project.
I'm working on it. The script is on, so it's again a fiction film. Yeah. I will tell you later on.
Okay, thank you.